this one.
Yeah, get rid of one of those then.
Should be streaming. Streaming really beaming right now.
Streamage! Is it? Starting. Commencing.
What's up, everyone?
Nope.
Happy Thursday. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Green light over there.
Oh, hey guys.
Amateur hour once again here at Actifio On-Tech.
What will we do without Jay?
I know. Well, we survived. We're on, so...
Are we?
He's becoming less useful.
Well, slowly but surely.
Just kidding, Jay. We love you so much.
Just kidding, Jay.
That's true.
So, happy Thursday. It is May 2nd, 2019. Welcome to Actifio On-Tech. I'm Jason Brown.
I'm Chris Murphy.
I'm Gio Tropiano.
So we got the three people here today, crew.
Oh, you didn't go with the Three Musketeers comment?
No, more like three blind mice, I would say, than three musketeers.
That hurts.
Well, you know, reality is reality. Much like the Reality Stone from the Avengers,
No
which
spoilers.
we saw.
No spoilers.
I know,
Too
spoil
soon.
it, but really good. You got to see it.
Definitely see it.
If you're any kind of a Marvel fan, it wraps things up nicely, that's for sure. But it still leaves a few things open.
Maybe we'll talk spoilers next week. Because
Maybe.
we've given people enough chance.
Well, they say the Russo brothers said, Monday was the spoiler-free time.
So technically we're good.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you have for us?
I don't want to get Chris all fired up either. We won't talk about Game of Thrones.
We won't talk about Game of Thrones.
Battle of Winterfell, since he's feels very emotional about that.
Yeah.
So we won't get into that either. But I thought that was not the best. Like, it's not the best episode ever, but it was still pretty good. What did you give it? What did you give it out of 10?
-3.
Ooh.
Yeah, this guy.
Hear that?
I gave it a 6 out of 10. I think, right?
Yeah.
So pretty good.
Did you guys see the...
Hey, I watched it again though. The second time, I think I may give it a 7 after watching it once. I told you got to have patience. Got to wait for next week's episode where they're going to explain some of the stuff that's got you all riled up, and we'll be good to go.
We'll see.
Anyway, special beer today.
Very
special beer, all the way from Brussels in Belgium, from a brewery called is it Cantillon? Is that how you say it? But there's no I in the, isn't it?
Cantillon.
Cantillon, because it's Cantillon. There's no I.
Cantillon.
Yeah,
Cantillon.
Cantillon. I think it's French.
Whatever, it's good.
And they're a very famous brewery, been around for a very long time, that make lambics. Lambics. Will you please inform the audience what a lambic is?
I don't know if I'm up on my lambic terminology, but this is a wild fermented style of beer, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're talking open vessel fermentation. Very different from the sanitized and closed things that we do in our home brewing and in our traditional brewing. So I guess what you're looking for out of this is some little sourness, fruitiness, and just really complex flavors that you wouldn't get in a traditional short process closed fermentation beer.
Yep. And this beer is, I think, one of their seasonal beers. They do it once a year. So it's kind of rare to get.
Highly sought after.
Pretty sought after. And based on the reviews I've read, as well as the little peach right there, we're expecting a peach lambic.
Now, is this the peach added?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll have to confirm that later.
Can you read French?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
It says blend of real lambic from spontaneous fermentation and of apricots of Bergeron type.
Yeah.
Keep and serve at cellar.
300 grams of fruit per liter.
So what, should we let it
300 grams of
warm
fruit per liter beer.
Is it fridge temp? Right now?
It's cold.
All right,
It's cold. Beer with evolving flavor.
let it warm.
In order to appreciate the fruity taste of Fou Foune Cantillon, it is recommended to drink it within 1 year after buying it. To drink preferably within the 10 years after bottling date. And this was bottled 14th of August 2018, so within the year.
All right.
Not sure about their science there, but we'll go with it.
I don't either.
1 year after buying, but 10 years after bottling.
It's still going to take good 10 years after.
Okay.
So I guess we're looking for apricot, not peach. My bad.
That's cool. Apricots and peach are similar.
Similar fruit. Fuzziest.
Let's not stand on a ceremony here.
Yeah, so I will.
You got me all excited.
I will attempt to open this because not only does it have a bottle cap, it also has a cork inside of it as well.
By the way, since we were just speaking of movies, I just saw the trailer, or a very brief, maybe a teaser.
Oh, good call. Good segue.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No.
I thought you were going to go with
What?
Crawl.
Oh.
No, but I'm just continuing down the movie thing. But let's go with the spoiler alert on Crawl.
Sorry, the inside joke here. So our analyst relations person, Sean Rasmussen, also
Specialists.
works with his brother to write horror films. And if you've seen The Ward, which was directed by John Carpenter, who's pretty famous, they wrote that screenplay, and they also just wrote another screenplay called Crawl about, you guessed it, alligators attacking people during a hurricane. Nothing to do with Sharknado, though. Totally different. That's the
very
sharks and
Also,
tornadoes.
nothing to do with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well,
Exactly. But anyway,
no, there might be a
but anyway, we're very excited and proud of him because the trailer came out today for it. They're expecting, I think, an August
Super
release?
psyched. It's
July
July 12th.
release?
July 12th.
And so we're happy for him, excited. So check out the trailer for Crawl.
Congrats, Rasmussen Brothers.
CRAWL in capital letters. You can't miss it.
Rasmussen Brothers owning it.
Yeah, his name.
produced by Sam Raimi.
It's a front.
You
Yeah.
may know.
That is produced by Sam Raimi, who's also
correct.
pretty famous.
And directed by that guy that I don't remember.
Wow, that
Who
guy.
was
John
definitely
Featherstone, no.
recognizable. His list of movies, I was like, oh yeah.
But that's directed by that guy. And stars that girl.
guy.
Right, the
And that
girl.
other guy.
And the guy with the,
Wow.
the hair on his head.
I think we're doing really well here
Some alligators.
so far.
Some CGI alligators.
So go see the Crawl.
And there's a dog, too,
Crawl.
but they don't show the dog in the trailer. But I was told the dog is
Superhero.
kind of like...
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, I can't say it. I can't. I was going to say steals the show like someone in
No,
the
we're not gonna
Avengers,
say
but I
that.
can't say it.
Don't you dare.
I'm not gonna say that.
Can't say it. I want to say it. Or...
Don't. All right,
Game
can we
of
just
Thrones.
pour the beer?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So
Just get a hold of yourself.
we're diverging. Anyway, tech topics. Actifio On-Tech.
Yeah.
What do we got in tech this
do we
week? Chris, why don't you kick it off?
Sure, I'll kick it off. So headline today was Stripe, which is a payments processing company, is announcing their 5th global location for their engineering and their headquarters and all that stuff. This location is remote. So they've got obviously a huge office in San Francisco, and they've got, I think, Berlin and other places. Ooh, we got a little problem there.
Well, just don't. I mean, could be worse.
It's fine. It's not a big deal.
He's gonna do it. Don't worry.
Continue.
So their big announcement is that their new hub will be focusing on remote work. And for now, we're starting only in North America, but they're hoping to get into other countries as well. I think this is just yet another, companies moving to accepting remote work. They have made some interesting posts online about how they're going to do this, how they're going to get people involved, because I think it's important that you don't just jump into it and have people work from home. It's actually a whole process of how do you collaborate, how do you get asynchronous communication. So I think I'd be looking forward to see what they come up with.
And that's STRYPE?
STRIPE.
Stripe, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, working remotely, I try to work remotely once to twice a week, right?
Yep.
I think that if it's accepted from a corporate level, like there just should be like just guidelines around it, right? I think it's especially dependent on the folks that are doing it,
Sure.
whether or not they're capable of their job allows them to, right?
Yeah.
Like, if it's acceptable, but do you have the right tools? Do you have the right? Does it smell good?
That smell.
Yeah, I don't think you can just jump into it and expect your day-to-day to work.
Right. To be the same as it
Your
would be
company
in the
like
office.
Actifio, which always had a huge headquarters here and a huge headquarters in India, and I think processes developed around that, right? So sure, we can work from home, engineers work from home if they need to, but I treat work from home as like, okay, I need to focus on this thing I need to do.
Yep.
It's not so much the developing projects, because you're talking with people on whiteboard usually, and that sort of face-to-face thing we rely on a lot.
Right.
So if we just try to jump right into that without changing process, it'd be very hard, I think. Full-time remote.
Full-time remote.
People in Maine, people in California, people in
Right.
Texas.
There are some companies out there that literally are full-time remote.
Yeah.
Strictly.
No headquarters at all.
No headquarters at all. That's
GitLab does that, I think,
Yeah.
which we use internally.
And I think there's a.
What is he doing with the beer?
I have no
There's a
idea.
little tiny piece of cork in just trying to get it out.
It's like,
I think there should be a real focus on transparency and over communication, right? Rules and processes set in place for how to communicate, when
Yes.
to communicate. I also think the job function.
There's some of the cork.
It's all good.
it's inert.
Yeah, it's fine. I think that each job function also would be different too. Like me being on the digital side, like I can do a lot of my work remotely. Like I can do it from anywhere.
Absolutely.
Right, but if you're, project management, there might be a little bit more collaboration needed, for example, or engineering, for example.
Sure.
So it's just, I think it's on a role by role basis. That looks really good, by the way. But I think it's smart for companies.
Yeah,
I think it's smart for companies to go remote and offer remote because work-life balance is super important.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see that they're. So what are they? These guys are developing tools on it. Is that what they're doing, or they're just as a company like?
No, so yeah, they're just basically saying we're going to put huge emphasis on this for our next round of hiring. We're going to look for people all over the world.
That's great.
All over the U.S. at least to start, and then all over the world later. So
Cool.
yeah.
So little technical difficulty with the cork, as you saw.
He's a pro at opening bottles.
Pretty
You
awesome.
did a good job. So thank you.
But there's a little bit of cork in yours. Apologize.
Oh, that is a complex nose.
Cheers, because it smells.
Cheers. Thank you for sharing
Barnyardy, fruity.
I've been looking forward to this beer for a long time. I mean, it's sour nose, apricot-y on the end.
Ooh, super dry. Oh, that's nice.
Whoa.
That's good.
I think the only thing in the U.S. that I've had like this would be some of the Hill Farmstead saisons, which they do some of those on fruit as well. And
nice.
wow, that is super nice.
Very dry.
Very dry, very tart. Feel it right back here.
You can definitely get the fruit. They say in the bottle 300 grams of fruit per liter of beer.
It's a lot.
Seems like a lot, right?
But it's not overpowering at all.
No.
It's very subtle.
It's good. It's nice.
Yeah.
I'm getting. How did you acquire this beer?
I traded with a guy.
Overseas.
Yeah. Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, so this
I
is.
think this particular. I've had a couple bottles of this.
I like it.
Actually, this is my second bottle. The first one I actually traded away for something else, which I was mad about. So I had to get it back. So I got another one. This was from a guy who lived in the UK, I think, but he traveled over there.
Very good.
You actually can buy these. So if you, when they do these releases like once a year, you can buy them online. Then have a proxy pick them up for you, or you can. Or there's also shipping services that will pick them up for you and ship them here as well.
Expensive, but.
I like
Expensive,
this style
but-
beer. I like sours. I feel
And of
like
course, if you go there, you can get it
Exactly.
everywhere. But hey,
But yeah, it's nice spring style of beer.
yeah,
Right?
great for the warmer weather, nicer weather. This is the kind of beer you like to drink outside in the sun. Like almost as much as an IPA, but I feel like they're just not as hardcore on the gut. Like they don't like heavier. You know, like IPAs can be kind of like bloating.
This one's 6% alcohol by volume, so it's not too.
Sours just don't.
Should
They
have
don't
a
do that to me. At least to me. You know.
well, I also don't tend to drink multiple sours in one session.
That's true. If you drink all the sours, a lot of people get heartburn.
Kind of blows out the palate a little bit.
I love it.
This isn't super sour or anything, though. It's very well balanced.
Very well
So-
balanced. Yeah.
Agree. So I had a few topics today. Honestly, this week when I was looking at topics, I didn't find anything super interesting that really piqued my interest. There's a lot of the sites had like Avengers and Game of Thrones stuff on.
Everyone's focused on that. Yeah.
Excuse me, but I did find a few interesting things. First was that Alphabet having a little bit of shake up on the board. So Eric Schmidt, who was the longtime CEO of Google for about 10 years and has been on the board for like 19 years, and Diane Green, the former CEO, who's been on the board for also a pretty long time, are both leaving.
Oh, really?
In June. Yeah, they've decided not to seek re-election when both their terms expire on June 19th, so about a month and a half. Schmidt had been on the board since 2001, and he was CEO for a decade.
I know that.
Diane Green has been on the board since 2015, actually. No, since 2012, sorry. And she was CEO of Google Cloud in 2015 to this year, 2019, right? Or last year? Yeah, so interesting there. I don't know what it means for the company or these folks in general, but I just found that interesting because I know they were two long-time Google people who've been on the board, and they're shaking it up.
Yeah.
Schmidt was always an interesting fit. From the outside looking in, you would be surprised to see a guy like that as the CEO of Google for the
he's a
time he
founder.
was. No.
He was part of the founding team.
You're thinking of Paige and
All right.
Bryn.
Okay. It's been a long day.
It's okay. But anyway, it's like I said, not a super deep tech topic, but I found that interesting, so I wanted to note that.
Well, we'll see what happens to the stock, won't we?
We will.
Being a public company.
Right, and the new guy, TK, was St. Thomas, something or another, is, I know he's been shaking things up and trying to,
You're right.
invigorate the cloud business for sure.
Well, that's going to be huge for them.
Why not?
They do a really good job. It's just, Amazon has such a head start.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Got any stories for us, Gio?
Gio, you got a story for us?
Well, I thought this was interesting. So, Beyond Meat is a company that
Beyond Meat?
Beyond
M-E-A-T?
Meat.
Okay.
As in vegetarian burgers.
Right. They just they create vegetarian burgers, which I always thought was interesting. They just went public. They just went IPO, and they debuted at 135% over their IPO's kickoff. So
Beyond Meat. They're just like a packaging company?
yeah, they're just a food company that packages vegetarian offerings, right?
I actually had one of these recently, which is different from the Impossible Burger,
Yep.
which I think we had mentioned at one
You
point.
mentioned that before,
Right?
Yeah.
The Beyond Meat was good. It tasted good. I wouldn't say it was a meat burger imitation, right? Whereas the Impossible Burger tries more to be like that.
imitate a meat
Oh my God,
burger,
I don't know that I'm not eating
Right.
meat right now. But it was tasty. And I think they also make like sausages and stuff too. So
I mean, I'm glad that this is happening. For the most part, just as the movement is moving towards vegetarian options. I don't know much about Beyond Meat and what their
market value of $3.5 billion.
it's great, right?
Wow.
I don't know what their ingredients consist of. For those of you that don't know, I'm a huge proponent of just organic, natural food. But, you know, I'm glad to see that this is at least an offering for folks that don't want to eat meat, right? And it's funny. I think people that try and go vegan or vegetarian, like eventually either like they go straight vegan, straight vegetarian for the rest of their life, or there's this like fluctuation back and forth, right?
Yeah.
But this is nice that at least that there's an offering out there, because like I don't know if you guys like, everyone likes to go out to eat, right? There's been more and more offering, like vegetarian offerings, right? So this is nice that like people that aren't familiar with like how to prepare their own healthy vegetarian or vegan food, this is an easy way to you know, to just go to the store and buy your own without having to make it from scratch. And it's great to see that they're going public.
Why would they go public, I wonder?
Raise money.
Well, they've got their products, right? And they're rolling out, you know, burgers to restaurants. I got mine at a restaurant.
Okay.
I think you can buy them in stores as well, which is not true of the Impossible Burger yet. But I would guess that...
You sure about that?
At least I didn't see one, but...
Go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
So I would guess funding would be for research into new products, right?
Yeah.
Or scaling up the manufacturing. But yeah, to your point, were they cash flow positive? I don't know. We'd have to check the S1, right?
I've never really thought a vegetarian food company would be something that would go public, I guess.
At $3.5 billion.
I mean, there's plenty of you know, food companies that are public, whether they're vegetarian or not, right? So,
2018 revenue of $88 million, up 170% over the previous year.
pretty good.
It's a good growth.
Good for them.
It's just good to see that you know,
So that's a
the
30x valuation.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
For a veggie food company.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Good luck. Congrats.
Yeah. A lot of plants.
Beets for everybody.
Yum.
Beets
Lima
are-
beans.
Beets are a great addition to a veggie burger, by the way.
Ooh.
I think they are in the Beyond Burger.
Are they?
Because it was the waitress said, I don't know if you've had one of these before, but you know, don't be alarmed that it's like this red juice coming out. It looks like a raw burger or something, but I don't know.
I've made my own
I
veggie
thought it was
burgers
good.
before, and like you can get creative, and they're really flavorful. I think vegetarian options get a bad rap.
Yeah.
You just gotta get creative with the ingredients. That's all.
In the past, I always liked veggie burgers, but not when they tried to be too much like a burger. Like I think it
line
just
up
can
what
just
they
be
are.
tasty,
It is
right?
a vegetarian burger.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's a vegetarian patty.
yes, patty.
Yes.
Processed it up and smushed it into
right.
submission.
So I have another topic. Now I know you guys are both Instagram models, so this really affects you in your
Oh
lives.
boy.
Yes.
Although Gio gets active on the gram with, you know, your yoga business. But Instagram officially started testing hiding the like accounts.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is interesting because, as we know, a lot of these women and men as well on Instagram are on there for the likes and for the clicks, so they feel it as self-validation. Of
course.
I think, you know, also, you know, people that have more followers get more likes tend to get more ad revenue as well. So I find it interesting that Instagram would try and play with this and really screw up the kind of business model of Instagram in general.
It is interesting because that's not going to change their ad revenue, right? So a guy who's getting 1 million views is still going to get 1 million views, but no one else knows that he's getting 1 million views, which might be a good thing, right? Because then you're not, you know, just assuming that this person knows what they're talking about because they got 1 million likes or whatever it is, right?
It's like leveling the playing field.
Maybe. And then a little less obsessive checking of likes might be a good thing for
what's driving it?
Would you think that an advertising firm would target a social media influencer that has a lot of followers or gets a lot of likes? We think there might be some metrics around.
Yeah.
Absolutely, there are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
And that's how the ad placement works.
Yeah.
But I don't think that necessarily changes.
You don't think so?
It's just that if I'm browsing the feed,
yeah.
it shows Jason Brown. Here's your post. I don't know if 10 people liked it, 1,000 people liked it.
Right, but how would these? So you're saying that
They're still going to collect the data, is what.
they still collect data when these ads, the ads or the brand ambassadors still get paid based on the number of
I think so.
likes.
Yeah, I
So
don't
this
think
should
that's
be
going to
hidden.
change.
Right. But that may reduce the effect, right? Because once you go viral, it's self-feeding. So maybe they just don't get as many people to view them anymore. And that might not be a bad thing either, right? I don't know if the world is improving by...
I think one of the big
Product
things.
placement.
Yeah, I think one of the big things with this is just like testing, right? That's one of the biggest things, and you know, being in software development, being
A/B
in
testing.
marketing, like A/B testing, just seeing like how that's going to affect things. Whether people are going to have more time to scroll and see more posts because of that, right? Because how much time is spent looking at that one metric of an ad or of a post, right?
Yep.
Whereas you remove that, right? The attention is not focused on that. It's focused on the content. It's focused on the image. Maybe what they're trying to do is offer, more or gather more data on what people are interacting with, so that they're not actually looking at the amount of likes.
Well, I think there's the other side of it as well. It's just the social and well-being of people's mental state as well. A lot of people are addicted to these apps, and they use the like feature as validation.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
a
can lead
dopamine
to
trigger.
obviously an unhealthy mental or behavioral state. And so I can see why they'd want to remove that and try and reduce that from happening. They also announced Instagram also announced a few other things around bullying and things like that, about a new nudge feature that will warn users if they're about to comment something hurtful.
Is that done with neural networks or something?
I don't know. I'm just saying, in away mode that will encourage users to take a break from Instagram at intense times in their lives. Manage interactions will always set limits on how certain people interact
Are you
with
sure you want to
them.
post this?
Right.
Chris, it's 3 a.m. and you've been taking beer pictures of
Right.
Are you sure?
Right, so they're trying to promote digital well-being. So I applaud Instagram for trying that.
It is good because it's kind of goes directly against their revenue source. So
Agree.
But
it's rare that you see people try to take responsibility for that.
there's got to be a way for them to capitalize on this, because, like you just said, they're a part of a public company, so they can't do anything that's going to take away from revenue.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something that they're either testing or going to be making money off of.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen this already with like iPhone screen time, right? And Android has some sort of thing like that.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just trying to get out ahead of that. Where
True.
they don't want Apple putting Instagram to sleep. They're gonna take care of it themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Agree. Yeah, agree.
Are they gonna hide comments too?
Didn't mention that.
They already do hide comments. You have to click on it.
Oh, you have to like it. Yeah. I'm just wondering because if you hide likes but not comments, then will people just comment like?
Well, I guess the question is are they hiding it from view completely, where you can't even like see it, or do you have to click on it to view it? That's what the comments are now. Like you can see like 400
you can see the
comments.
number,
right?
And then you go.
Click on it to break it down.
I guess we'll see.
With all my 4,000 comments on my one post.
It's so hard to scroll through them all.
I know, it's so tough.
You and Tom Brady. It's
Well, yeah. He likes commenting on my stuff.
All right. Murphy, you have anything else?
I was going to talk about video games for a second. I know a topic near to your heart. So
Talked about it a lot. There's a PS5 update that just happened the other day.
not see that.
Not coming out this year, and probably not. They said PS5 is not coming out for at least a year. So
Okay.
from now, so you think about maybe fall, winter next year, potentially.
That
Winter's
sounds-
coming.
Well, no, winter's here actually.
Well,
if you watch the show,
no
you know
spoilers.
that.
I wouldn't know. I didn't watch it.
If you watch the show, you know that.
I don't watch it.
I know. You and
Don't.
everyone else.
So anyway, I think not on the console side, but on the PC side, Steam, very popular game delivery mechanism, right? So Epic has launched their own competitor store. So there's the Epic Games Store, and they just announced they purchased Rocket League. It's a big e-gaming, esports thing.
Right, with the cars and the soccer balls.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about the Epic Store is that their cut of revenue is an 88-12 split. So that's 88 to developers and 12% to Epic, the store. Steam, much like Apple and Google Play and all, it's a 70-30. So especially,
I get it.
yeah, for like indie developers and stuff, I mean, that could be the difference
Flock to
between...
that platform. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think you're seeing that not only in games, but also in things like music and stuff, where people are fighting against this 30% cut. It feels like a really high cut for basically hosting the game,
Right.
and providing some infrastructure around that. So it'll be interesting to see if that turns into the Netflix thing, where you now have 10 different streaming providers and paying all them individually, or
Could be. Well, Epic owns Fortnite too, right?
yeah. And that's where a lot of the funding for this effort came from, is that explosive hit, right?
Oh yeah, billions of dollars.
Instantly they're able to invest in new opportunities and start fighting. Because Steam, of course, originated from Valve, right? Which did Half-Life and that sort of thing. So that was sort of their hit that led to their ability to do that.
Okay.
And now Epic's in sort of a similar situation. Took a long time, though. Steam was out in front for
Steam's been around for a while. Yeah,
10 years.
right?
I mean, they've been dominating this thing for
I've never used it though. Like, what kind of games are on Steam?
pretty much everything.
Every game.
Yeah, it's... And it,
Legend of Zelda, or no?
I don't know if that's on PC, but probably.
PC gaming, buddy.
Oh, totally.
Not console.
Wanted to get into
Now,
that.
there are some console games that are on PC and vice versa, right?
You're saying Legend of Zelda is not on? Not
Legend of Zelda is not a PC game. No. Just
on Nintendo.
That's
on Nintendo.
strictly Nintendo.
No.
You could buy an NES.
Total market you're
You
missing.
could buy a Nintendo Switch. You might have it. Well, the Switch, I think you can play older games on the Switch. Or you just
Play
buy
the
the
newer Zelda,
or you just buy the NES Classic, or you just build a Raspberry Pi like I did.
I have completely halted my video game playing. I used to only play Halo for years and
On Xbox?
on Xbox. That was it. That's done.
Never played. I have played it a little bit, but I'm not I'm not an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Actually, I've been getting into Minecraft with my daughter. She's been loving that.
Oh yeah, nice.
Very creative expression for
Yeah, she's
the
a huge
kids.
fan of
That's
it.
fun.
I'm up over 110 hours, no, 120 hours on Final Fantasy 15 right now. So
Whoa.
yeah,
That's
Congratulations on that.
No.
yes. Congrats.
Please don't congratulate me.
Don't tell his wife either.
Yeah, right.
We'll edit this out later.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's
Wait,
later.
it's live.
Oh well.
All right.
Sorry, honey. After she goes to bed, it's fine.
Nice.
Anyway,
So how's the Cantillon?
It's really good.
I like it. Jinx.
I'm glad that you shared this with us.
I know, but look,
Appreciate-
I'm way behind. You guys.
Well, it is a
I've
sipper, really. I mean,
I definitely.
I can feel it in my mouth for long after I've swallowed.
It definitely has a nice flavor.
It's really good. And again, I don't think the fruit's overpowering. It's not too sweet.
No, it's not too sour, not too sweet,
Really
not
good.
too fruity. It's good. It makes a good balance for sure.
Are we getting a little hazier as we pour here?
Yeah,
Is
the
there
bottom is-
sediment?
Could be.
That's good.
Did you store this upright, or what was the...
No, you store it with the inverted, so the cork stays
Yeah,
wet.
okay.
Yep. Which
You might have cellared this for a very long time.
which you think would have made the cork not dry out on me and break in half.
Did it... Is that what happened? Just dry it
Let
out?
me feel it. It's dry as a bone.
Pretty dry.
Yeah. And this is the end that was in the. I mean, this is fairly wet still here, but
Well, sometimes it's just a bad cork. That's okay.
yeah.
We'll let it slide.
But it was stored on its side so that the cork could
It's great.
maintain.
Corked and capped, so...
Yeah.
That looks like orange juice.
It's really nice.
Yep. Yeah, it looks a lot darker now, actually.
Wow.
So I had one more topic. Like I said, I think it's super interesting, but I found out that Facebook has a dating app. Did you know that?
How'd you find
I thought
out?
we talked about this
We did.
in a previous show. Maybe you weren't
Maybe I
here.
wasn't here.
Yeah.
But it's not in the U.S. It's like in, I don't know, wherever, Canada, 5 countries where it is. But apparently there's this new thing, and it was just funny. It's called the Secret Crush.
Okay.
So now you can press a button on one of your friends on your friend list or someone in the dating app that says you have a crush on them.
Okay.
But they don't know that.
Okay.
And the only way they find out is if they say they have a crush on you.
Yes. All right.
So it's kind of like it feels like it's middle school.
Yeah.
Definitely middle school.
Like when you tell a friend that you have a crush, and they tell their friend, and you know.
Now, do we put these mutual likes into a blockchain to make sure that it... Oh, just kidding.
I don't know.
That would be horrible.
But I thought it was funny. It's like, oh my god, secret crush. Like, are you serious? It's like middle school. So,
So I'll be just waiting on my phone for that to pop up, I guess.
so
Is
wait,
is it embedded in the Facebook app or is it a separate Facebook like?
Well, he said it's not even in the U.S.
it's not
I
in
know,
the U.S.
but I'm just saying.
You gonna go to Canada?
Facebook dating lives within. No, Facebook dating lives within Facebook's mobile app. It's available to users 18 years and older. It's free. Ads or paid features. When you opt in, you have to create a separate dating profile
We did talk about
with a
this.
more limited amount of personal information that will be shown to your potential matches. And you get any Facebook friend as a secret crush. They do not have to have a dating profile.
Oh. And then when they eventually do sign up, and crush you back.
You have been
That's
crushed.
right. It's
crushed.
Love.
Well, I hope it helps people find love. Isn't that what we're all here for?
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about, right?
That's right. Love this beer, by the way.
On that note, I do love this beer. Thank you, gentlemen.
Cheers. Thank you for offering the beer.
So with that, that's Actifio On-Tech
It is.
for May 2nd, 2019.
It's true.
Make
Hit
sure
like,
to mash
hit
that
subscribe.
like button.
Subscribe.
Put some comments on there. If you want to come on, please, we're happy to have you. I'm actually out next week, so we do need a spot for someone next week. I'll be at SP Sapphire in Orlando, Florida. So if you see our Twitter and our LinkedIn feed, we'll be buzzing about SAP and SAP HANA and our booth at Sapphire. So stay tuned for that as well.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter at Actifio. If there's any questions that you guys have, post it right there or on this video as well in the comment section. We'll be happy to address any questions. If there's anything you guys want us to talk about, and then upcoming feeds, we'll be happy to take your ideas.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Cheers. Intro music while Jason changes.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, no